mind. So let me start my session. Okay, all of you can see this PPT?
Yes, sir.
Guys, can you see this PPT? Hello, can you respond? Can you guys see this PPT? Can you guys hear me? Okay, wonderful. Now, I would appreciate if you can really respond and communicate well. So I should not really feel like I am talking to some ghost. This webinar is to interact with the human being. I would appreciate, so let me introduce myself. So I am Bhupesh. I have over 27 years experience. And I also take a use case in business analytics, big data, machine learning, data science at Aegis. I also mentor students on various projects. At the same time, I'm also running a company called Muni Campus. And of course, you must have interacted with Muni Campus. You must have registered on this platform. So this is one of the India's largest online campus recruitment platform. And we ourselves do a lot of business analytics, and we ourselves use a lot of AI in Muni Campus. With this small note, let me start this talk. So the first and foremost thing is why we are trying to really understand business analytics and what is in it for us. So I did a search on Naukri and LinkedIn, and this is not a 1 month or a 1 year old data. This is just last week data. And I could really see that there are roughly around 49,000 open jobs on business analytics on Naukri, and 23,000 jobs open on LinkedIn. And that sees the kind of potential business analytics is having. And this is essentially in India. I'm not talking about the worldwide number. Of course, there are two job roles, business analysts and business analytics, and that we will subsequently discuss. So they show that there's a great opportunity in this field, and specifically when the recession is there, and there are a lot of number of jobs are being cut. But as the recession comes, or as a bad time comes, business analyst, data scientist, data analyst job increases, essentially to analyze data and take the data-driven decisions, not to really work on the gut, because you can't really throw stones in the dark. You need to be absolutely sure that whatever the decision you're going to really take, it can really have a positive impact on the businesses, because the stakes are too high. Your revenue margins are down, you don't have a lot of liquidity, so you can't really do a lot of experimentation. So whether it is a good time or whether it is a bad time, business analysts or analysts, those who can really apply their brain, analyze the data and take the decisions. Now let's see what business analytics is. So I have highlighted a couple of keywords. And if you see, there are two or three important words which is emerging out of business analytics. Is essentially using the data, right? And using the data to take the informed decision. And decision about what? Our personal life or a business? So since this is related with the business, we are taking the decision based on the data. Let me give you example. Let's say during this tough time, you want to increase your sales, and you say that, okay, let's reduce down the price of our product by say 50%. Now, you just can't take a decision, right? So you have to really So you are forming a hypothesis that if I reduce down 50% my price, uh, definitely you need to really respond to the management that what kind of revenue growth you can really have, or what kind of sales growth you can really have, right? So you are imagining that if you reduce the 50% price, it might increase your sales by 100% or 50% or whatever, right? So you need to really validate your assumptions, and specifically in data science or business analytics domain, we called it a hypothesis, right? So whether your hypothesis is going to be correct or not, or do you have sufficient data to really prove that in past whenever you really did reduce the prices, or whenever you did offer the discount, it actually impacted in revenue increase or sales increase, right? Or let's say you decide that you want to really launch a white t-shirt within the price range of say 150 to 250 rupees, right? And this is the summertime and people will really buy. But do you have, and you want to be sure about that. So you would like to really take out the historical data. Let's say you're working in Zara or H&M or any other retail brand. And you would like to really see the historical data and see what was the response whenever you try to really launch white t-shirt or white shirt during the summer period, how the customers really responded. So business analytics is all about taking the informed decisions based on the data, and you use a lot of statistical methods, you use a lot of quantitative methods, you use a lot of computational methods. And when we're talking about computational method, we're talking about essentially machine learning. Uh, and what is the process involved in business analytics? You will formulate the hypothesis, you will formulate the problem, and to solve that problem or to grab that opportunity, you will first and foremost, you will collect the data. And data could be structured data, it could be unstructured data. Business analysts typically deal with more of the structured data, and you will collect the data from multiple sources with primary or secondary research. Uh, some data may be lying in your data warehouse, some data will be outside data. Uh, let's say you want to really analyze uh, how the customers, if you are trying to really launch a product mobile phone at the price of 15,000 rupees, right? So how the customers are going to really respond. But earlier you have only launched a product mobile phone which was say in the range of 40,000 rupees, and you don't have sufficient data that how the customers are going to respond on 15,000 rupees. So in that case, perhaps you may like to really do a market research. You would like to really talk to a couple of customers, a focus survey, or you would like to really float a survey, or maybe you'd like to really collect the data of companies like Oppo or Motorola or any other company which are offering a product, or Samsung in the range of say 10 to 15,000 rupees. And you would like to really analyze that what kind of sales these companies are having, or when they really reduce the price, what kind of sales increase they have. So you need to rely on the third party data, or maybe you need to really scrape the data from the various sources which are out there. Some third party data which is available, which you can really buy. Uh, companies like Nielsen can really help you to conduct the survey or provide you the relevant data. Or let's say you want to really launch a house on 3.5 crores in Mumbai. So you would like to precisely know that how many people are there, those who can really afford the house of 3.5 CR. And not necessarily you have the data with you. So you would like to really go to third party, again like a Nielsen, and you'll try to really identify that what are the household incomes, which are the pockets, and which locality you would like to really build the house of 3.5 CR. Would you like to build it in a Kurla or maybe in Burley or a New Bombay or where, right? So let's move to the next slide. Where it is used, business analytics is used not only in, it is used in various functional areas, be it marketing, be it supply chain. It is also used in various industries, be it telecom, be it retail, be it healthcare, be it BFSI. So every industry, so including the government, no industry can really survive without analyzing the data, because every industry deals with the customer. Every industry has got some products. So including say healthcare, hospitals, they do have the products. If you really visit Hiranandani or Apollo or versus the government hospital, you'll find the pricing altogether different, right? Uh, uh, the hospital medical tourism is being promoted here in India. So they also offer the product. So any company which is offering the product, they have the data about their products, they have the data about the customer, they have the data about the pattern, the behavior of the customers, and everybody would like to really optimize their revenue, and everybody would like to really cut down their cost, and everybody would like to really launch a new product. So be it a retail, be it a finance, be it a healthcare, be it a manufacturing, be it a transportation, every industry would like to use the data to improve their revenue optimization, reduce the cost, customer experience, multiple areas. Let's take example of any transportation company. So let's say Amazon. So you have ordered some mobile phone or some stuff, and Amazon need to really ensure that whatever promise they're saying, so they will send you the alert that yes, your item will be delivered by evening between 6 to 8 o'clock. And how do they really are able to really predict, right? If you're living in Bombay, you know that when it rains, all your prediction goes haywire, right? But still, you know that what kind of traffic condition will be there. So let's say if you have your warehouse near to the airport and you are living somewhere in New Bombay, so you know precisely during the summertime how much time it takes, and during the rain how much time it takes. And you can always build up a predictive model, and you can always estimate the time. That is within the city. Let's say you are a pharma manufacturing company, and most of your raw materials are being manufactured in China, and you would like to really see the impact led by coronavirus or led by any other political uncertainty or civic movement. And so you need to really see uh, the impact on your supply chain, right? So the raw material to the factory and factory to the shop, right? Uh, Manufacturing companies use analytics to identify when the machinery is likely to go down. It is used to really reduce the say waste. Banks essentially are into, let's take example of banks. A lot of my students, they are into say risk and fraud analytics, and a lot of students, they are working in fintech companies, and essentially the BFSI, one of the major role for them is to and they make money by lending the money, right? They thrive on charging you interest. But can you really give a loan of say 5 crores to somebody whose income is say 20,000 rupees a month? Perhaps the answer is no. uh, So one of the major function within the bank is to analyze the credit worthiness of the customer. Can you really lend him a loan or not? Uh, mm, and there are a lot of banking frauds which happens, and you need to really identify. Let's say um, you're using a credit card or a debit card, and typically you do a transaction within the 5,000 rupees range. And let's say you do the transaction on Amazon, but all of a sudden you did a transaction of 20,000 rupees on some random site. So these algorithms will be able to really identify that there is something wrong, something is fishy, which is going on, and they will send you the alert, or they may block your transaction. How does it happen? It happens with automated fraud detection systems, right? So banks, BFSI, the business analyst job, this is automated product, but of course, when you really apply for a loan, for a large sum of a loan, or let's say a company like Adani or Ambani or any other company applies for a large sum of a loan, the risk analyst, their job is to really analyze the data which is submitted by the company, and also analyze a lot of data which is out there on the net or out there by various auditors. Then create the do the risk analysis. Should we really lend them that kind of loan or not? Or even if you are lending, what kind of risk factors are there? Telecom companies typically use for the churn prediction. So churn is essentially you're using Airtel or Vodafone, and now you're switching to Geo for a better, say, better speed, right, or better data rates. And so when the customer leaves one company to other company, you have been using Axis Bank services, and now you switch to ICICI Bank, right? And this phenomena is called in business is churn. So companies, their job is to identify the churn, and it is very critical. And you need to really identify which customer is likely to leave, and when they will leave, and why they will leave, so that you can really take the corrective actions. So let's say you have a 20-year-old customer with you, and the customer's ARPU is say roughly around 4,000 rupees a month. You would not like to lose that customer. So you would like to really find the early signs that this customer is like to leave. The early sign could be that the per month billing reduced down from 4,000 to 1,000 rupees, and the customer stopped using the data, right? So immediately the customer care head or customer service head should really get this indication that this customer is likely to leave, right? And they need to really offer them better data rates or offer them better services. So business analyst, data scientist job is to really build churn prediction model, right? And identify who are likely to really leave the company. So it is almost used in every area. Let's discuss various functional areas. So every industry has got these functional areas, which could be marketing, which could be sales, which could be finance, which could be supply chain, right? Which could be strategy. Majority of the development in business analytics, or data science, or AI in large enterprises started from the marketing needs. So let's say you are on the Facebook, most of you will hardly see any advertisement related to Bentley or Mercedes-Benz or Lexus on Facebook. Essentially, because Facebook is able to analyze that you are not the potential customer who's likely to buy these cars. So how do they get to know the kind of locations you're traveling, the kind of posts you're doing, your demographics, your geographic, your behavioral data they analyze based on the posting and everything based on your network. And based on that, they try to really show you the advertisement. Let's say Airtel is there, and Airtel launched some new scheme, right? Say 100 GB data on, say, let's say 500 rupees. Airtel is having roughly around 350 million customers. So Airtel is not likely to really send the SMS or emailer to all these 350 million customers. So Airtel need to really identify which are the customers likely to buy this package. So they need to do the customer segmentation. They need to really identify who are likely to really buy and then run those campaigns. And based on the customer profile, customer segmentation, they also need to really decide about the language, right? It is heavily used in sales performance, which customer need to be sold on what price, right? Sales prediction that say this quarter my revenue is say X amount. So what will be my sales revenue in the next quarter? And sales brings a lifeline to the organization. This is like a bloodline. So you need to really have the prediction about the sales because then your cash flow can really go haywire. So sales prediction is one of the critical factor, and that's where the business analyst plays a major role. So what they will do, they will analyze the past historical data about the sales, and they'll try to really do the prediction that yes, next quarter will have this kind of revenue. But at the same time, you'll also have the external factors. Let's say during the corona, all sales prediction model actually gone for the toss because we were seeing something unprecedented, right? And nobody actually saw this kind of stuff, at least in their lifetime. But still, you can really go back 100 years back that what did happen in, say, during 1919, right? And what kind of impact and how long those impact were there. And you can still try to really build some kind of a model to do the prediction. In HR, you maybe like to really identify which which employee is likely to leave, and that is called attrition analytics, right? And why they will leave. Does it only because of the salary, or is it because of the boss's behavior, or is it because of the bad environment, or is it because of the better opportunity, or is it because of say the distance of their house from the office? So there could be hundreds of parameters which you need to really identify. You can't really keep on guessing in your head that this is the reason why customers are leaving, and money could not be the only reason. And if you really start playing on your guts, then you will start increasing the salary, and which may not result in any positive outcome. So business analysts, they build the model. I have been using this model word quite frequently. Let me clarify this model. Model is basically a mathematical framework you try to really create, which can really replicate the real life scenario. Let's say you try to formulate a mathematical equation. So let's say house price is a function of what is the size of a house, how many rooms are there, and the location of the house, how old that house is, right? So these are the multiple factors. So you can always create a equation, you can always create a function. So that let's say very linear function, price equals to say, you can really always create a function like y equals to mx plus c in format, right? So wherein you can say the price of a house is a function of as I already told you, which is size of the house, number of rooms, right? And you can really create a linear equation, and you'll try to identify those unknown parameters, those coefficients, and you would try to really identify a generalized formula because you don't know what is the impact of those variables. And that's what you try to really do in machine learning or in any statistical analysis as well. My apologies, I have a bad cold. Okay, so what kind of business questions you ask? And this will give you idea what is the job of a business analyst, or for that matter, data analyst, or for that matter, a data scientist. So these are the typical business questions you will encounter in any business, be it telecom, be it retail, be it any other, or even for that matter, any functional area. What is happening? So let's say Amazon is having 160 million customers. So Jeff Bezos must be wondering what is happening, how many customers are buying in India, how many active customers are there. Sunil Mittal must be wondering that out of these 350 million customers, how many customers are actually using my services at this point of time. How many are active, how many are inactive, right? So this is called discovery, this is called exploration. The second question which perhaps you will ask, what happened, right? So let's say you launch a mobile phone on 20,000 rupees and you did a estimation that you will be able to resell 1 lakh mobile phones on 20,000 rupees. And eventually you sold only say 10,000 mobile phones. So you'll try to really, so this is the final outcome, right? So your boss will ask you the report, okay, how many did we sell? What was our revenue? In Mumbai University, the Vice Chancellor would like to really know how many students enrolled this year, how many students did it pass the examination, what was the minimum percentage, what was the maximum percentage, what was the average percentage. So this is called descriptive analytics in analytics parlance. So you try to really identify about based on the past data, what did happen. Now you would also like to really find the answer to this question. Why did it happen? We planned to sell 1 lakh mobile phone, but we end up selling only 10,000 phones. And what is the reason? And the answer may lie in the data which is available with you, or answer may lie the data which is not available with you, but you can always find the answer in the data. Why did it happen? Because somebody else has launched a product at a much lower price, at 10,000 rupees. Or during that period, majority of the people, they started losing the job. Or already people were having on an average 2 to 3 phones. Or your reputation in the market went down and you had the bad reviews. So the business analyst job is to really go and identify the reasons, identify the answer to this question, that why did it happen, or maybe you did the wrong projection, right? Your business analyst did the wrong forecast, right? Maybe that was a real number at that 20,000 price. You could have sold only 10,000, and that's what the result is. So this is called diagnostic. Just like when you visit a doctor, you had a fever for 3 days. That is a descriptive analytics. You visit a doctor because you have a fever. So doctor will refer you to the diagnostic center. You will do the blood test. And based on the blood test, you'll identify why do you have the fever, because of the coronavirus or normal flu or any viral infection or malaria or whatever it is, right? And then once doctor identifies that why do you have the fever, the doctor will also try to really do the forecast that what can really happen, what can go wrong if your disease is not treated, what kind of severe impact you can really have. If it is a normal viral, they know that after 5 days or 6 days, it is going to really slowly and gradually will go down. And not necessarily you need to be offered antibiotic, but let's say you have some fungal infection or bacterial infection, and then it can really go very severe, and you need to be offered antibiotic, right? Because you will die. So the The extreme prediction the doctor will have that yes, you need to be admitted, or you need to you in extreme cases you may die, right? And that's what the prediction is. And the prescription the doctor is writing is antibiotic, right, or some other medication. So same thing, we can really draw the parallel in business, that you have designed some specification that yes, the price will be this, the RAM will be this much, and the battery will be of this specification, right? And you would like to really do the prediction that yes, if we really sell it on 20,000 rupees, we'll be able to really sell 1 lakh unit. And that's the prediction you did. Uh, but and you wanted to really sell 1 lakh unit, but somebody, a smart business analyst or data scientist, did a prediction that no, you will not be able to cross 50,000 units. So again, the question is that yes, you want to really sell 1 lakh. Now, what you should do? You should reduce the price, or you should improve the specifications, or you need to really improve your branding in the market, or you need to pump in more advertisement budget. And that's the prescriptive stuff the business analyst or data scientist will come up. There is a new thing which is added into this analytics, is what did we learn, right? And that's fall into the domain of cognitive analytics, right? Just like a human being. So we collect the data and we really contemplate that yes, over the last 20 years, what kind of mistakes we did, what did I learn, what I should not really do, what I should really do. And organizations do this based on the data. Any questions so far? Guys, any questions so far? Okay, how do you launch your career in BA? Practical steps, evaluate and decide. So you have to really first decide why and what. If you are studying engineering or doing the BMS or arts or science, or you're working in some organization, maybe in marketing or production operations, you need to figure it out that why you want to do and what is in it for you, right? What kind of jobs you can really get. You may like to read the several job descriptions about business analyst. Do not search business analyst, search for the business analytics, because business analysts are, there are two kind of business analysts. One, those who really help improving the business process, and I rudely call them as a English to Marathi translator. So they, in the software industry, a lot of business analysts, they are the requirement gatherer. They speak to the client, they collect the requirement, and they pass it to the developers team. This is what the most of the business analysts work in India, but that is not the business analyst I'm talking about. I'm talking about business analysts, those who will be doing the business analytics, right, or data analytics. Their job is to essentially analyze the data and help you to take better decisions related to revenue, or related to sales, or related to marketing, or related to operations, or anything else, or related to the human resource. Right. So go and search for business analytics on LinkedIn or Naukri or Indeed. Read couple of JDs and see whether this kind of job description suits to your temperament, suits to your skill or not. Try to interact with those who are having experience in this field. You can go on YouTube and you can really identify a lot of our alumni video. Go on LinkedIn, identify within your network that your seniors or your batchmates or junior, those who are working in this field. Connect with a couple of AGS alumni as well. Try to identify that what kind of job they do, what kind of salaries they're drawing. Then try to identify what skills and qualifications you need to become a business analyst. Analyze what are the transferable skills you have at this point of time. So let's say to become a business analyst and data scientist, you will require good communication skill. You would require good presentation skill. You'll require good skill to analyze any problem. Uh, so perhaps these skills require for most of the jobs. You have very strong quantitative ability, right? You are very strong on mathematics. You have good critical thinking, right? So these are the skills which you can really actually transfer into business analytics or data science domain. And then also see that how much leeway do you have? Can you really leave the job, or you have constraints that yes, you have to really continue and then learn those skills, right? Um, or you really want to really get into this field. So decide. So based on these following factors. So this is a general framework I'm sharing with you. And there could be a lot of points which I'm missing on this. So the idea is that yes, you follow the steps, decide firmly that whether you want to be in this field or not, because there are a lot of other fields are there. There is a cloud, there's the AI, right? There's the blockchain, uh, there is a sales field, there's a marketing field, right? So once you decide, then you start preparation, right? So you'll see, okay, which are the skills I have and which are the new skills which I need to reacquire. So which are the technical skills you may require to become a business analyst? You need to acquire skills related to visualization. Uh, because that's how you will communicate your analysis to the top management, right? Uh, you will require skills to collect the data. You will require skills to analyze the data. So most of the data is lying into SQL servers or in big data systems like Hadoop or Spark. So you should be able to really extract the data from there. A lot of data will be there in Excel sheet. So you need to be good in this Excel sheet. You need to be good in MySQL. So that is where from the data you need to extract. You should be able to run queries. You should be able to analyze that data. And you have to do a lot of mathematical statistical operations like identifying the mean or average. You need to do a lot of hypothesis testing. So you need to understand the basics and advance of statistics, right? So you need to know statistics, Excel, SQL, right? Visualization tools like Tableau uh, or Power BI, right? You also need to really, a lot of companies now have started asking for Python and R. Of course, if you're a data scientist, that is mandatory. But as a business analyst, also the companies have started asking you for the R or Python skill, and you need to really learn how to do data analysis using the Python, right? So you'll figure it out these core technical skills which you need to really acquire, and then learn these skills. There are a lot of free resources out there, or you want to really accelerate your learning, you need to enroll yourself into some institution. And while you are learning these skills, you also need to apply these skills in terms of data analysis. Otherwise, it's just like reading dictionary without actually using those vocab which you have built. So you need to really do analysis. You can really find a lot of data on data.gov.in or data.gov, wherein government has, Indian government, American government has published a lot of data related to the various industry, right? You can really go on Kaggle, you will get a lot of data and analyze or visualize. You can really simply start with the monthly expenditure you're doing, right? So you can really create a beautiful, put that data in Excel sheet and create a beautiful graph. If you're spending 100 rupees or say 1 lakh rupees, which all areas your money is going, how much money is going on your Netflix or entertainment, how much money is going on your hotels, how much money is going on utility bill, how much money is going on your EMIs, or maybe on rental. So you will be able to really see a visual picture that which portion your money is going, because humans are get attracted to the visual stuff rather than just numbers. numbers are unnatural to the human being, right? And then finally launch your career into this area. These are a couple of common skills which you will require, which I already discussed. Data science. So a lot of people ask about questions. What is the difference between data science and business analytics? My take on this, yes, there are subtle differences. Business analysts are there for long. So pre 2000, there was no data science, right? It was only business analytics. So business analytics is quite old. It came into the academic limelight in 1960. So business were always analyzing the data even before formally it was invented. Formally it came into the limelight. So for 1,000 years, businessmen were using analytics to analyze their revenue and tax collection. Pre this internet boom, companies were using business analysts to analyze their data. But post this internet boom, there are a lot of data which started generating, which is termed as a big data. And a lot of business analysts, they started developing data products as well. And one of the gentlemen, DJ Patil and his friend Jeff, DJ Patil used to work for LinkedIn and Jeff used to work for Facebook. And both of these guys were also building up a data product on LinkedIn and Facebook, which is like giving recommendation, right? So they were analyzing the large data and text data. And these folks, they realize that they need to really have the better designation, which can really capture what they're doing. And they coined this data scientist word. And since 2008, this data scientist word became a vogue in industry. And then DJ Patil wrote article in HBR, Data Scientist, the sexiest job of 21st century. And then every business analyst or data analyst started really giving themselves this title of data scientist. So the end objective of whether it is data scientist or business analyst is to analyze the data and give the meaningful insight to the decision makers. But there are subtle differences. Business analyst focus is more on the business, and data scientists, of course, the end user is business, but data scientists also, other than doing the data analysis, they also build the data products, which also overlap with the AI engineers or AI professional job. To give you a concrete example, business analysts and data scientists both will analyze data that which customer is likely to buy this 15,000 rupees shirt. But let's say if you want to really build a automated system which will give customers recommendation, just like Netflix or Amazon or eBay, when you really try to buy a white shirt, Amazon gives you recommendation related to white shirt, not pink shirt, just like a shopkeeper. And that's called a data product, because otherwise you will end up employing, say, 160 million shopkeepers to really assist every buyer which is coming on your Amazon site. And this product is called recommender system, because this is doing the automated data analysis and giving you the recommendation on the fly. So data scientists, they also build the data product other than doing the data analysis. And that's one of the major difference. And data scientists, and to accomplish that, data scientists need to acquire additional technical skills, which could be deep learning, which could be natural language processing. They also, and data scientists essentially deal in the large data domain, which is primarily big data domain. So they need to additionally acquire big data, deep learning, deeper level of machine learning, and NoSQL data like MongoDB and other stuff, wherein traditional business analysts, they analyze the small data and structured data. They do not really analyze the large volume of the data or unstructured data. This is general rule, but not necessarily. A lot of modern business analysts, they have acquired skills on machine learning and deep learning and NLP and learn the big data, right? So almost 6 years back, I wrote an article that uh, business analysts, data scientists will take over the business analysts, and if business analysts need to really survive, they need to really acquire the skills which data scientists are also having. So these two fields are quite intermingled, overlapping, and you don't have to really fall in debate for what is data scientist and what is business analyst. If you're not quite comfortable acquiring more technical skills and you would like to remain more focused on business, then business analytics field is much better for you, because as a data scientist you will end up getting into the domain of AI. So you will learn computer vision, you will learn natural language processing, machine learning, deep learning, those kind of stuff, and you also will require better coding skills than the business analyst. Business analysts can survive with average coding skills. They can really survive with Excel sheet, but as a data scientist, you will not survive if you're not very good in Python or deep learning and machine learning. Of course, I put this difference. So the focus of data scientists more on technical, business analysts focus on more on the business tools and techniques, which I have told you. A data scientist's job is to build the data product, also do the data analysis, while business analysts, their job is to build the data dashboard, identifying the pattern, but not necessarily that data scientists don't do the dashboarding, right? So role depends on company to company. Developed market like North America, these roles are clearly defined, but not in country like India, where these fields are just at nascent stage and just picking up. Mid-size organization, startup, they kind of merge both the roles, business analyst and data scientist. And we have a program which is called PGP in data science, business analytics and big data, and essentially designed for the Indian scenario, wherein organizations don't differentiate between these two roles, and became quite successful in last 8 years, and most of our students are able to really perform both the job. But this year we also launched a very specific course on business analytics. Essentially for candidates, those who are not quite comfortable with advanced technical knowledge, right? And those who are coming from BBA or MBA or BCom or non-technical background, and they still like remain in that area, right? So this program is starting in April, and the other program will start in August. And what kind of job you can really get after BA, business analytics program, as a business analyst, data analyst, data scientist, marketing analyst, financial analyst, operations analyst, right? BI guy, right? I think I like to really end my session over here. Let me also, if you guys have any question, feel free to ask. This is the website. There you can really go and check about the program, right? And here is the program curriculum. So if you see, this program covers about the foundation of businesses, foundation of business analytics, statistics, the Excel visualization with Power BI, Tableau, Python, right? Operations analytics, customer analytics, fraud analytics. We have tons of electives, so even we're not restricting business analytics guys not to learn deep learning or machine learning or big data or NLP or other stuff. That is in electives. But core courses, we have not included deep learning or big data or these kind of stuff. So that's all. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, or we can really end up our session.